On this episode of How to Do Florida, it's a father and son trip way down upon the Suwannee River.
The Suwannee River is absolutely one of the prettiest rivers I've ever been on in Florida.
And Chef Justin sharing his recipe for Southern-style spicy smoked sausage corn succotash.
Simple ingredients, but great flavors.
Yeah, it's got a nice sting to it.
And then we're headed to Jacksonville to learn how to sail on the mighty St. Johns River.
All right.
Good job.
Now we're sailing.
Yeah.
So get ready to experience the Sunshine State like never before as we head out to do Florida.
Hey, today we're canoe camping, and we're gonna show you how. Chase, how's that chili?
Awesome.
The black water of the Suwannee River winds through jagged limestone cliffs and past high bluffs topped with ancient oaks. This remarkable landscape is unlike any other place in Florida and deserves to be taken in slowly. There's no better way to experience this primitive beauty than by venturing out on a canoe camping trip. To access the river that divides Florida's panhandle from its peninsula, we headed to the historic town of White Springs. Located 70 miles west of Jacksonville and about 2.5 hours northwest of Orlando. For my son Chase's birthday, I decided to take him on a father and son trip of a lifetime, canoeing and camping way down upon the Suwannee River. But first, we stopped at Gander Mountain to gear up for the trip.
We need a stove
Okay.
that's small, portable, and light.
I would recommend the MSR Dragonfly.
Lightweight.
Very powerful, great for canoe camping, heats water very quickly.
Like it.
When you're out canoe camping, you want your stuff to stay dry. I recommend this bag right here.
Chase, get 2 of those, buddy.
About a 30-degree bag, works great here in Florida.
Okay, good. Chase, you like this one?
Yeah, I like this one.
Mike, I really appreciate your help.
No problem at all. Enjoy canoe camping, have a great time.
We will, thank you. Come on, buddy.
Bye.
Chase and I were almost ready to head out for a 3-day adventure. All we needed now was a canoe, so we headed over to American Canoe Adventures, a local outfitter in the area. There we met up with Charlie Shaw, who got us set up with our canoe equipment and maps.
Chad, canoe camping is about what you don't bring. You don't have to bring big cots. You don't have to bring big pots and pans.
That's really the neat part of canoe camping, is keeping it small. There's no big bags of charcoal, no big stacks of firewood. It is really just about bringing exactly what you need. Would you say one of the #1 mistakes people make in canoe camping is overpacking the canoe?
Overpacking. They'll bring a van load of gear with them, or actually 3 or 4 carloads of gear and try to put it in one boat. If you do it pretty much just like backpacking, bring what you can tote,
Yeah.
you're good to go. And when you're loading these boats, you want to put all the heavy stuff in the bottom. You want to spread your weight out. You don't
Okay.
want to stack it up above the gunnels, but everything's in dry bags. You seem to be packed light, so I believe you're in good shape.
Well, this was it. Just me and my son, about to embark on what I hope would be a canoe camping trip that Chase would remember for the rest of his life.
Let's get you buckled in here.
All right, Chad, y'all have a great trip.
See you in 3 days, sir.
See y'all later.
You're my power guy.
One of the things that struck me the most about the Suwannee was its calm black water. Tannins leached from plants in the Okefenokee create this dark, rich color, or possibly better described by Chase, who said, "Dad, are we floating in root beer?" But the Suwannee is probably best known for the song that made it famous back in 1851.
The song Old Folks at Home, which is Florida's state song, by the way, was written about this very river, the Suwannee River. Stephen Foster, the gentleman who wrote the song, never actually even visited the river. Stephen, you don't know what you were missing, buddy.
From the walls of cypress knees lining the banks to the remarkable white limestone cliffs, the Suwannee is a magnificent sight to behold. More than 100 years ago, steamboats cruised these very waters, selling their wares to folks living along these banks.
The Suwannee River is absolutely one of the prettiest rivers I've ever been on in Florida.
Daddy, let's look for a place to camp.
I think you're right, buddy. You ready?
Yep.
Let's start looking. We're looking for a nice flat shoreline. This is like a good spot to camp?
Looks like an awesome spot.
You want help to set this tent up, right?
Yes!
When setting up camp, your priority is always shelter. Believe me, you don't want to be setting up your tent in the dark.
Okay, there, I got it.
Yours is in there? Is your stake in good?
Yeah, it ain't good.
Tent's up?
Next up, campfire.
When you're coming out here on these canoe camping trips, bring some lighter knots. Some people call it lighter wood. It's light, small, but but it gets the fire going really fast.
While I got the campfire going, Chase does what he does best, explore, looking for firewood.
Still running the fire there, buddy. There you go.
Chili or stew makes for a great canoe camping meal. It's easy to pack and hearty enough to fill you up.
How's it looking, man? You like chili?
I had been waiting all day to give Chase his birthday present, and this seemed like the perfect time.
I have something for you.
What?
I have a gift. You want to open up now or tomorrow?
Now.
There you go. What is it?
My own knife.
Your knife. What do you think about that, man?
Good.
I'll never forget when my dad gave me my first knife.
Is that pretty cool?
Thank you, Daddy.
And sitting here with Chase next to this fire, I'm reminded of how blessed I am to be able to carry on that tradition with my own son.
Happy birthday, buddy.
As darkness fell over the campfire on the banks of the Suwannee River, we ate dinner next to the fire, watched the moon, listened to the wildlife, but mostly we just enjoyed the moment.
It's beautiful out here at night, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of turning.
At first light, with a gentle mist rising over the black water, it was time for a hot breakfast, ham and eggs, and, don't forget, coffee.
We're done, buddy. We got to pack up and get on the river. Is it good?
Chase and I were taking in a little after-breakfast fishing when a visitor paddled up to our campsite.
Good morning.
It was Bob Giarda, Park Service Specialist at the Stephen Foster State Park. Bob and I sat down with a cup of joe while he told me all about this exceptional area.
And what a beautiful spot here, Bob. So, but you guys have places to camp all on this river, don't you?
I came up from Woods Ferry. It's one of our campsites just upriver, and it has elevated sleeping platforms that are screened in. They're just beautiful. We have hot and cold running water, places to cook. So it's almost all the conveniences of home, and you still get to leave home.
So, Bob, if somebody wants to come out here and do this, what's the first thing they should do?
Two things I would recommend that they do. First, contact a local outfitter after they've figured out where they want to put in and where they want to take out. And then the second thing would be to put together a travel plan that lets someone else know who's not going on the trip when to expect them and what to do if they're not heard from when they're expected to be pulled out.
So, Bob, what are some things to do here, out here on the water?
There's lots to do. In fact, there's mountain biking, swimming, fishing, hiking, canoeing, camping, birding.
I mean, yeah.
Can I go on the rope swing?
You want to go on the rope swing? He wants to hit the rope swing.
I don't blame him. It's a great day for it.
Well, Bob, thank you so much for coming out here.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it.
So here's how to do canoe camping. Contact an outfitter for your canoe equipment needs and maps. Pack for camping with just the basics. Don't overload the canoe. Put everything in dry bags and rope it all together, and leave a travel plan with someone who's not going on the trip so you can be located in case of emergency. Before heading off to the rope swing, we broke down our camp and packed the canoe up and got ready for the next leg in our journey down the river. When you get down to it, it's really what canoe camping is all about, a journey. It's paddling down a beautiful river, taking in the amazing scenery, and stopping to check out something that looks like fun, just because you can. At nightfall, you make your camp and rest before moving on the next day as you continue to explore what lies around the river's bend.
Hey, to learn more about canoe camping, go to our website at howtodoflorida.com.
Still to come, we're headed to Jacksonville to show you how to do sailing.
Looking good.
But first, Chef Justin's dialing up the heat on a recipe for Southern-style spicy smoked sausage corn succotash.
Just gonna spoon this in. Beautiful. Okay. You're watching How to Do Florida, and we'll be right back.
Hey, it's colorful and it's fun to say. Corn succotash.
And in today's Florida cooking segment, I'm going to show you how to do it. Let's get started. You guys ready to make some succotash?
Yes. All right. Chad?
I'm ready, man.
All right, I got my pan on, about medium-high heat here.
Okay.
And then we're going to start by sauteing a few things. A little garlic, a little onion.
Okay.
We're going to make this happen.
And it's just really just start throwing stuff in a pot.
That's it. I got my spoon.
You always start with butter every time.
Just a little bit of butter.
A little butter.
Okay, butter going in there. A little onion, nice and fine dice.
Nice.
You going to stir that up?
Where's my
I
stir?
thought you had a spoon.
Oh, I do have a spoon right here. It's a good
What do
time
you
to
got?
use my. This is my spoon.
What is that?
This is a part spoon, part orange. It's a sporn.
Oh my goodness.
You've heard of the spork?
Yes.
Little cousin.
Oh.
That's right, we come in here.
Thank you.
It's not the most practical tool in the world, but it does work. So come in here.
We got our oranges and our butter in here. They're caramelizing nicely. I'm gonna quick chop a little bit of garlic, get in there. We want some good garlic flavor, don't we? Okay.
Here we go.
Okay, so the garlic's in there. Next, we're gonna go ahead and add some smoked sausage.
Okay.
The smoke flavor is gonna give it a good
Now we're
little
talking.
bit of smokiness going on in here.
Now is this the tash?
This
Or is part of the tash?
This is the sucker.
This is the sucker. That lime juice looks like the sucker.
Yeah, well, that's true. You're right. All right, so we really want to get our sausage in here. We want to get a little brown caramelization on here. Starting to smell good. When this gets a little caramelized, we're going to add our corn.
Okay.
Florida sweet corn. And you guys know that Florida produces a whole lot of corn, but most of all of our corn goes as fresh market corn. So it's the exact corn you see at the grocery market. It doesn't get processed into other things. It comes just like this, as nature intended. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get some of the kernels off here. It's a nice, easy way. You wanna set the flat part of the corn down on the board. I got a serrated knife. I'm just gonna run it down just like this.
Oh, nice.
All right, now that's nice and caramelized, let's go ahead and add our raw corn. A whole bunch here, there we go. I also have some green peas here.
Now it's a pea party. We're mixing corn and peas. Looking good though, Chef.
All right, we definitely want to season this. A little pepper.
Oh, we're talking.
A little sea salt going in. Try to keep it in the dish there, Chad.
Sorry.
I got a little bit of hot sauce we're gonna go in here. Just your favorite hot sauce is gonna just give it a little bit of kick. Now time to add the
sucker.
Here we go.
Sucker in there.
Lime juice going in. It's gonna give it a good tang. I got some great Florida tomatoes here that have been diced up. Tomatoes going in. And finally, we're just gonna add a little bit of parsley for a little bit of color in there.
All right, I'm starting to get wore out here, Chef.
A little re-season. You know, this dish was born out of the Depression time here in the United States when there was a little bit of money to go around and needed to make a good, tasty dish out of common ingredients. Let's keep it in the pan there.
Sorry.
All right, I think we're good. Let's go ahead and plate this up.
Plate this sucker.
We're just gonna spoon this in. Beautiful, okay. And there we have it. It's good to have all these different colors in our dishes, and it brings all kinds of different textures and flavors. You definitely want to eat your colors. You guys ready to taste this?
Ready.
All right, let's do it.
Hey, to get the full recipe for this gorgeous corn succotash
and many other dishes like this, go to howtodoflorida.com.
Coming up next, Chad's learning the ropes of sailing.
First thing we're going to do is put the mainsail up. You are going to put the main halyard on.
Time to go, Hallie.
When How to Do Florida returns.
We're here in Jacksonville, and we're going to be showing you how to sail on the world-famous St. Johns River.
The ebb and flow of sailing is much like the sea itself. It can be serene, mystical, and calm, or it can unleash an intensity that's an adrenaline rush like no other. You might be surprised to know that Florida's Mac Daddy metropolis is not Miami, Tampa, or Orlando, but the town known as the First Coast. Jacksonville is the largest city in Florida, and it also has the largest river in Florida running right through it, the St. Johns. This 310-mile river is at the heart of this beautiful city. And with a river this big, you need lots of bridges, 7 to be exact. One of Jacksonville's coolest bridges is the Dames Point Bridge. At 2 miles long, it's America's longest cable-stayed bridge. Located right off I-95 in the First Coast region of Northeast Florida, Jacksonville is about 25 miles south of the Georgia border and about 2.5 hours northeast of Orlando. We headed down to the Rudder Club on the west bank of the St. Johns River to meet up with Kim Brew and her 2 daughters, Colleen and Shannon, who would be teaching me how to sail on their 33-foot Hobie, appropriately named Chaos.
Okay, so Kim, take me through this, okay? And talk to me like I've never sailed, because I have never sailed.
Okay. You need a boat.
We got a boat, check.
You need the water.
We're in water.
And you need the wind.
So let's talk a little bit about wind direction.
Okay.
We
We did a nice little mock-up here for you. What are some of the principles that we're dealing with?
All right, with wind direction, the closer you are to the wind, the tighter the sails are in. And as you sail away from the wind, you let the sails out just a little bit. And now you're going with the wind coming behind you, so the wind is pushing the boat. So now you want the sails to be out as far as possible to catch the wind to help it push the boat.
What are some other things we need to know?
This is a line.
This is a line. This is not a rope. I know that, right?
It's not a rope, yeah.
Okay.
We have certain lines that pull up the sail. Those are halyards. And then
Okay.
we have the lines that trim the sails, and that would be a sheet. So you have a jib sheet, which the jib is your front sail.
Okay.
Your main is the mainsail. It goes
Okay.
right here on this boom. There's a little bit of classroom stuff where we go over some more terminology, but actually just getting out and doing it is the best way to learn it.
Having never sailed before, I had visions of me being at the helm with the sea in my hair and the salt in my teeth, but quickly my first lesson would be my place on the boat.
You gotta get out of my way.
Okay.
First thing is get out of Kim's way. So sailing is a lot of tackle, isn't it? It's a lot of knots, it's a lot of straps, it's a lot of buckles and hooks and
Equipment.
equipment.
First thing we're gonna do is put the mainsail up.
This is the gooseneck. Sailing is all about communication.
Chad, you're going to pull up the main halyard.
Pull hard like this?
Yeah. This is the main sheet.
Okay.
This trims the sail, it pulls it in and lets it out
Okay.
because it's attached to the mainsail.
Looking good. We're jibbing. Okay, we're there.
Hey, Chad.
Yeah.
You need to come back here and trim it. Okay, see how it's all floppy up there?
Yeah.
Okay, you want to pull the sail in, but first put it around that winch. Yeah, clockwise. Now pull, pull. Okay, Shannon's going to have to pull it over the lifeline. That's called skirting the jib.
Man, I
A
can
little
feel
bit
us
more.
pick up and speed a little bit. When I did that.
Yeah. There you go. Good job.
All right.
All right, high five.
We're sailing. Okay, so how do you steer the boat?
I push it this way, the boat goes that way.
Yeah.
You see, it kind of goes the opposite of where you're pushing it.
Okay, yeah. So just like an outboard tiller. Not to bring the word outboard into this conversation.
Oh,
just like the outboard tiller, right?
You said the O word. Okay, we ready to tack? Tacking. Watch your heads. Pull, 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 pull. There you go.
Successful tack?
Very good. Nicely done. Well, what do you think?
I think this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it is just this amazing feeling to be powered by the wind right now.
The cool thing about sailing is that it's a sport for everyone. You don't need any special strength, size, or ability.
You learn science, you learn wind, and you learn to appreciate the water. It's way more fun than video games. And you don't have to be terribly athletic. It's a sport that anyone can do.
Okay, so here's what we know. You'll need boat, water, and wind. You'll need to find a sailing school and take some lessons. Or ask an experienced sailor at your local sailing club to show you the ropes or lines.
I've heard people say that sailing for them is an opportunity just to really bring their mind to zero.
Sometimes you get so caught up in the day-to-day stuff that you never have a chance to slow down and just let your mind rest. You're one with the wind, you're one with your boat and the water, and you're just cruising.
Sailing is that great blend of excitement and relaxation. If you've never sailed before, I encourage you to try it. It's hard to describe the feeling of being moved by something you can't see.
For more information on sailing, go to our website, howtodoflorida.com. Now we're sailing with grease. You're watching How to Do Florida. We'll be right back. You know, I've lived in Florida all my life, but her beauty never ceases to amaze me. I hope you've learned something, but more importantly, I hope you feel encouraged about getting out and enjoying Florida.
For more info on this episode, go to howtodoflorida.com, where you'll find bonus how-to videos and all of Chef Justin's yummy recipes. And be sure to check out our Do Florida page, which is our giant list of events and activities all over the Sunshine State. Yeah, you should check it out.
Look out, Kevin!
Whoa, what the? Sorry. Where? Did we do a jib? I missed it.
A jib?
Well, what is it about sailing that draws you?
Makes my voices shut up.
You got, what, about a 20-mile paddle back to the office or what? Whoa! God bless you, Bob. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry that happened.
Oh, I'm sorry I ruined your shot.
Actually, it was fine.
Now we're sailing with grease. Yeah, right there. Oh, yeah, perfect. Yes.